they see me moving, yeah, I glow up. Every time I show up, I can flip my switch out. They act like they know us, but they ain't no dog, I'm big dog. Asking if it's still a flex, say they better go ask Booyah. Never think I'm gon' check, better pull up like woo. Come to place and I'm the best, I ain't worried about none who y'all. 24, no rest, stand on business, I'm too tall. Thought you was a threat, I do real life, do no tip and tap. On the internet, we don't do that, see I've been a threat, and I've been a vet. Thought you knew that way, I'm cashing checks, I don't owe no debts, I've been through that, see you SOS. SOS, SOS, see you SOS. Need a life vest, need no mic check, SOS. SOS, SOS, see you SOS. We don't talk checks, we get to it. All in for the jackpot. Every time I want the last shot. Championship ring. Rank started from a mascot. Went to Rollies from a G-Shock. Brand new kettle, no teapot. You should know I don't play. Go sicko mode like I'm T-Scott. Eagle vision from the treetop. Went to image from a green dot. Never had no limit, but I had some Reeboks. Keep it humble, but the fees not. In the game, no free spots. But I earn what's mine. Nothing less, I'ma shine. SOS, thought you was a threat. I do real life, do no tip and tap. On the internet, we don't do that. See, I've been a threat, and I've been a vet. Thought you knew that way, I'm cashing checks. I don't owe no debts, I've been through that. See you SOS. SOS, SOS, see you SOS. Need a life vest, need no mic check. SOS, 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 see you SOS. We don't talk checks, we get to it.
Little trade another day.
You know what? And tomorrow, I'm the biggest bear out there. So be it.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Live to trade another day. Live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day. Live to make another play. Is it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything. Not gonna get upset. Just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future up early, just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of Tradingview. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money.
Good morning all. Yes sir, happy new month here, happy quarter 4. Let me make sure all systems go. Everything looks like it's working. Quarter 4 here, last quarter of the year. And typically, if we've had a slower quarter 3, quarter 2, then the last quarter should pick up here. So, looking forward to be in a new quarter here. People will be more involved in the markets as we come into more of the end of the year pushes, and that is being clear as we've had some great volume, push down, push up, not been bad at all. Unfortunately, London was a little bit slow, but if you look at New York, actually some nice options, man. Even late New York setup 2 here, breaking the high, ready to go with a setup 3. Pretty easy stuff, man. So we're seeing a lot of volume during New York session. Hopefully we can get it back in London and start cooking. So today's gonna be Wednesday here. We have a bit of PMIs later on. We have ADP today and then NFP on Friday. Remember, this is NFP week. As for London session, we are clean in terms of news. Yesterday, we have the official government of the US government shut down. So the US government shut down because they didn't want to pass a bill for healthcare. And it's all this Democrats versus Republicans, all of this stuff. And we've had this before. Normally, it involves some sort of market shakeup. A small one, though, which we can see a little bit of weakness here in stock market from yesterday. But really, there's been no major reaction. The last time we closed the government was back in 2018. So let's see if we can go back to 2018 and find some information of how the market reacted. And the last time we closed was actually the 22nd of December 2018. So normally, how long does it last? Well, the one we had in 2018 was 30 days. Oh, all my old drawings here. Typically, it can last a few hours, a day. We've closed around 20 times in the past. And it ranges from anything from a couple of hours to a couple of days to up to a month we've seen. But ultimately, we didn't see too much. August, September, October, November, December. So we look at December here, 22nd of December. Replay to 22nd here. For our time frame, we can see it led to 22nd. Higher prices on gold, right? So we just ended up rallying here as we saw some uncertainty, maybe pull back, continue to rally, but you see no random news moves, right? So it doesn't really mean too much here, because why? Government closures is not changing financial policy. It's not closing the Fed, all of that stuff. So let's have a look what we have going on for today. Daily time frame closing bullish, monthly time frame of course closing very bullish here, huge monthly candle here. We might want to make a bigger bottom wick during this month. I would expect it. You know, it makes sense to grab some sort of liquidity. And we're not that far from making a bigger bottom wick. Weekly time frame obviously still looking bullish. Nothing would have changed. Daily time frame still looking bullish. A little bit of a smaller candle here, kind of indicating maybe a short-term top. Every time we have had a smaller candle, the next daily candle has closed bearish. So I want you to notice this. Big candles, when they got small, daily candle closed bearish. Next candle got small, daily candle bearish. Daily candle small, next daily candle bearish. Daily candle small with rejection wick, daily candle what? Bearish. Daily candle small, it's not as small as these, but it is definitely a smaller candle. Maybe we could close today bearish if what we respect this 4-hour high, which we're doing at the moment. So with that case, we can consider this a prime selling zone. If price wants to pull back a little, make a bigger monthly candle bottom wick. So today counter trend sells could make sense based on that analysis. If we fail to get above our 4-hour resistance and above 70, which is yesterday's level, that we are still respecting perfectly here. 1 hour is respecting it, 4 hours respecting it, 30 minutes is respecting it, and you name it, then maybe downside will make sense. If not, we will respect daily open and we will use this low end range here as a buying opportunity, right? We can take buys from the bottom of the range here, back up to retest 65, eventually 70. If we just range here, we can look for buys potentially above the 4-hour here, fill the wick into 68s, which would be roughly around a 20 pip range, get to 70 and see if we can push through. The sells today would make sense below 58, because below 58 we would have a break of structure. We've already broken first structure here. This is a pullback. We also broke structure towards the upside, so this just tells us we are in a range. This here would also be daily open, okay, and also considered, this is Asia low here, but this is the daily open. So selling below daily open is going to make sense. We have clean candles here towards the left that we can fill, and potentially run down deeper. Maybe not like this as aggressive as yesterday, but something similar. Not similar, but you know, you get the point here from the same selling zone. Liquidity has been grabbed as well, so we don't have to worry about that. If not, we continue the buys and the trend is our friend and we follow through with that. So, the worst case scenario today is we just range. If we range, then it's going to be boring, which happened kind of yesterday in London before a big dump here, mid-London, sorry, just before London Open. But this was counter bias. Today we have more argument for counter bias than yesterday. So looking at DAX here on the other hand, there's some good news and some bad news on DAX. The good news on DAX is not from the monthly, but monthly time frame closing very doji, not much information, very shit, showing us big consolidation. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 months of going nowhere. 4 months DAX has stayed in the same spot on a month-to-month basis. Weekly time frame will still be remaining the same bullish, but the good news is we finally broke out of this shitty daily range. So that's the good news. The bad news is we're still in our macro range, but the good news is we're out of our daily range. Now we seem like we're retesting that range with a mixed bias here. So if we can start to bounce and respect some of these zones, we could have some buys today, back up to retest into that previous 15, that previous 30 there, and could be pretty simple. So for me today, what my plan is on DAX here is, for the majority of the early sells are finished, I feel like I want to be selling below daily resistance. Anything above daily resistance, I want to be a buyer, just in case we're going to create supports to bounce from here, because this is a perfect daily candle close above. Now we're retesting. So the number one retest spot is going to be one of these daily resistances. So I don't want to really sell and it just bounces off here and I lose. So if I sell, I want to sell below it, which we're not too far. So if price wants to dump today, we could do that. Now my question I'm thinking in my head right now as we speak is it worth it to try sell to it right now? Which I have to make a decision in about 1 minute, because that's all I have to make that decision. Because if we close something like this, is it worth it to get here for 10 points and run a 20-point stop loss? I mean, 10 points is enough to get break even, but it's not going to be enough to take profits. Right? Especially with us sitting at previous 4 hours as well. I don't know. Not too comfortable with it. I rather have sold earlier to try get down to here. But nevertheless, we will see how this candle closes. Already it's showing us signs of rejection. So it's not ready just yet. But we can keep an eye on it. Can actually have it ready just in case we want to try that sell there. Could get a nice little dump back down here. 4 hour no top wick. Yeah, that's why I want to try be a buyer, right? Would be nice to try buy up from this zone. But I'm seeing, can we get a quick scalp back down to here? You know, nice little sneaky scalp. 20 points towards the downside. We shall see. So here is Frankfurt open. Did close below the box quite nicely. That's a nice open, huh? No bottom wick, but my spread is still a bit wide here. It's too wide, my spread, unfortunately. I would like to take that on the flip, but I can't take it with that spread. Whoa. You see how it caught up with that? Don't know when they're going to fix this problem. It's pretty annoying. Now we've settled down a bit on the spread. So we could fill this wick here and continue towards the downside. Nice top wick we've made. Let's see how we continue here. 5 minute hasn't closed below. I'd have to base it on 15, so I won't be using. Anyways, the stops are the same here. I just want to see how it reacts. It's still the open. I want to be a little bit more on the cautious side. Ideally, if it really wants to continue down, it has to break this low. Remember, I'm more of a buyer from this zone. So I'm not rushing into anything here because I'm a buyer. But I'm seeing if there's an opportunity for sells potentially. I'm also checking spreads, seeing if they've calmed down. You know, the first couple of minutes of the open, you want to be like, yeah, this is why I want to be a buyer from this zone here. That's the moral of the story. Never rush into a trade if you are on the opposite. Yeah, this is what I was also worried about, is spread still jumping for me. So still I have. You gave it a shot and got fucked. Yeah, unlucky there. Just want to be a little bit, when we are more of a buyer, depends on your bias. If you were a seller from this zone, you followed your plan and that's fine. But for me, I was more of a buyer from this zone, so I don't mind skipping 10 pips if it just wants to dump heavy, right? Because I'm more of a buyer from this previous 4 hour and all of this stuff. That's just bias, right? So whenever you have a bias for the day, you can use that to influence you on your trades. To be like, yeah, there is a sell opportunity here, but I have more sells below here. So unless I see some perfect setups here, I'm not going to rip into early positions to try and you know. What really put me off as well is the 1 hour low would be respected. That's what put me off. So even if we break this low, that's why I was saying we have to really break this low before we are actually triggering a proper sell setup. So let's see how this 15 closes. Will give us a setup 5 and actually my buy entry here. Hopefully we can create some 5 structure, which will also give me a chance to get into buys. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to get into buys if we're all the way up here or something. Gold candle here, 1 hour candle ended up closing bearish, still in the range. Nothing really we can do with that candle close. Very random, not random, but you know, useless close, not much information. 30-minute time frame here, we can see as well. Not that bad, you know, in terms of range on 30 minutes, but the 1 hour messes us up a little bit. 15-minute coming back to test the bottom of the range. Remember, we have our sell options below there, which is also below the 1 hour. I'm probably going to drag it below the 1 hour here like that, just to make it match, which is the daily flip as well. So yeah, those are the plans. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the analysis. Everything is clear. Let's see what we have in store for today. First trade of the month. I think last month we broke that that trend. That first trade of the month is lost. So let's see if we can continue that. We want to pick it nicely, start our month strong. And if not, then you just trade as normal. Actually, it doesn't really matter too much if it's a win or a loss, if I'm being honest. Now, my question is, do I rip it on a 5? Oof. 5 close above, I don't think will be enough here for me. I took the L for you for the first trade of the month, so the next one is going to be a win. That is correct. You had to sacrifice. You had to sacrifice. What's the difference between a standard and a STD and a cent account? So an STD is something that you get from interacting with people who are not very clean. A cent account is a different thing. Cent account is not an STD, so you can't get an STD from a cent account. But trading can still fuck you. That's the problem. But you're not gonna get an STD, so it's actually safe in that sense. But on a cent account, you don't get fucked as hard. That's the difference. You're only risking cents, right? So you don't risk that much. Whereas on other accounts, you can get pretty messed up, you know? You need to be careful. That's the difference between cent account and normal. Nine minutes is quite some time, but you see the problem on 5 is there's no clean range on 5. We're stuck at this resistance here, which is 5 points away for a 24-point stop loss. It's tough, you know, it feels like it will be a break-even trade. So I love the 15 here because 15 we have so much more confirmation. 5 would have had more time to develop. And now we can look to trade all the way up to here. And look, even one full bullish candle up to here is not going to give us a 1-to-1. You see that? Can I trade with $5 on a cent account? What, as a deposit? I don't know. I don't know. You have to check. Research, man. Have you heard of Google? That will help you. DAX seems more interesting for me today. DeepSeek has been way better for me than Google recently. Yeah, people rate DeepSeek. Anything with AI is smart these days. That's the crazy thing. Do we need the daily retest here, or is it really gonna bounce just from here? That's the only thing I'm worried here is if we want to just... Because DAX hasn't been the cleanest. We've seen that it do this yesterday. I'm going to show you guys. Watch what happened yesterday. So we had same type of setup, right? Pre-session comes down. And then we create a support. That support liquidity grabbed. And this was already testing here, yeah? Liquidity grabbed once. Liquidity grabbed twice. Then did the deeper retest. Then went. That's what's nasty. Is yesterday it did that deeper retest. Then we went. So my worry is today we will do this. Next candle will close bearish. That's my only concern. We'll close bearish on next candle. Like that. And then we will get the test to the daily resistance. With a wick, maybe something like this. Then we get the real move. Then we get something like this. So that's the risk I have to take. So 5-minute testing, previous 5. So no 5-minute setup at this time here for us to take a 5-minute setup. 1 minute has big LTA here, which I'd love to see be filled. How do you feel trading on the 30-minute for better confirmation? Yeah, it's cool, man, but you just might miss some setups if you're in heavy volume. When you go higher time frame, it's actually better to trade outside of volume. Like when you're trading 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, all of that, you're actually better to trade outside of volume because you'll have more time for confirmation. So when we're trading in volume now, we want to be like 15 is a magical time frame because 15-minute allows us to have the best of both worlds. Enough confirmation, but we're not going to miss out on the volume. Gold also could close below here. So we could see gold close below. 1 hour time frame did close bearish previous one. So let's see how gold reacts. How big is this internal range here? To this is 40 pips. What's ideal time frame for trading? I like 15. Sorry, I can't see what you're trading. I want to follow. Look at the chart and tell me what chart you think this is. You should analyze as well and know. You have 5 places to see what pair it is. You have top left, bottom right. You have in the menu here as well. And you have in the title of this stream. So as a drill, since you go to medical school, which is in your name, right? Since you go to medical school, you're good at doing drills. So I want you to write out what is the title of this stream. Write out what is the title of the stream, and hopefully that will answer you the question of probably what pair it's going to be. How do we know when GJ is ready to trade again? Fundamentals will change in the JPY. You'll see announcements and then I can see. And just look at the ranges. We don't have... Man, you want to trade this? Good luck. To be fair, today we actually do have some sort of a range. To be fair, we have this range here. But most days we're just not having range. And the shitty thing is we had to dump so much to get there. So there's a high chance it probably fakes out first. When was the last time you took GJ? The last time in the journal. It's the last time I traded GJ. I haven't traded it after a journal entry. Alright, so 15-minute time frame needs to close above here for buys. If it doesn't, I don't like it as much. I love this retest here. It's a great retest. It's exactly what I would like to see if I'm looking for continuation. But remember I talked about that big LTA on 1 minute and how I would like to see that be filled. So now it's filled. We don't have to worry about that being filled if we enter a position. So if we get a close above here, my question is, do I take wick fill? Because wick has not tapped anything. Except for the 5 technically. Or do I just take the break of high? It's quite a big difference. What are we working with? 7 points is quite a lot. Stop loss would be reduced to 20 points. 1-to-1 would already reach upper range, but we need to close above here. Need to close above. See in 15 seconds if she wants to close above or not. Ooh, okay, that's an interesting last second dump down there, keeping us safe, the close. Never a bad feeling for that to keep us safe. I wish there was LTA on 5, then we could take it as a 5-minute entry here. Because I like this retest here. I wonder if a close above here I can try to push through this level. It's a tough one, man. That 15 would have made my life easier. But that's okay, because our job is to follow plans. Paris called DAX could be German 40 on broker. Yeah, that's true. Do you have friends who you work with you in the weekdays and have some fun on weekends? No, don't really have friends that work with me, that hang out with me on weekends. I bought prematurely. Can I hold price if it closes below 1 hour low? Bought on what? So yeah, we're still struggling at that resistance here. Another retest to there now, flipping bearish. Let's see gold. We did not close below as well on gold. Wow. How does that look on broker? I'm interested. Yeah. 60 pip stop loss for 30-point target. No, sir. That is not working with me. That is not working with me. $323 watching, but only 52 likes. Yes, if you guys enjoyed the analysis, do the YouTube business. Leave a like on the stream. Get it up to 100. I would appreciate it. You know the drill. New month, guys. Be hyped. Be ready. Focus in. Lock in. Quarter number 4. This is your last chance to end your year strong. Don't do stupid shit. You leave that behind you. Make sure that you end your year strong so you can start next year on a good foot. So really concentrate. I'm telling you from now. Last 3 months here. Concentrate. Do small things. Just try to end your year in a way that you can just compound small results. Even if it means making 2% a month. 3% a month. Even if that's the case. On DAX, I'm concerned about the 1 hour LTA wanting to be filled. Yeah, I'm concerned about daily resistance want to be tested first. I like that we've retested this multiple times. If we were to close below here, would give us a bigger sell signal, or a 5-minute close below here as well would now give us much more confirmation of sells. So this one possibly it would be ready now. 1 hour would have made its top wick. 30-minute also grabbed liquidity from the highs. 15-minute would have then now respected the previous 15 and faked out, and then the 5-minute candle closed below for the actual sells compared to the earlier position where I'm more bullish. But in saying that, if we do respect these lows here and close above here, I'm still ready for the buys, because then it would just be the same confirmations but opposite. This is actually a rare scenario where we have the same confirmations to both sides. You want to see? Liquidity grab to downside, bullish candle. Liquidity grab to upside, bearish candle. Bearish candle close below, bullish candle close above. We have the same confirmations to both sides. Actually, if you flip this, you can see it looks very similar each side. One just has, this is your rejection wick here, this is your rejection wick here. So it's actually pretty similar confirmations to each side. So really it has to kind of pick a direction. But the scary thing is that direction can still be wrong. Because I am still, even in saying that, I am still more on the bounce side from here, but I do see a case where we retest daily resistance. So if I have the confirmation of something closing below this support, right? If I have the confirmation of something closing below support, that would give me at least an attempt to get down towards the daily resistance and see what happens. Even if it ends up break even, no commissions on DAX, it could be worth it. But if we keep respecting this support right now, then there's a higher likelihood we end up continuing up. So that's why we just wait here. That's why we wait and let price show its hand. How to flip the chart? Alt-I. Some sell positions I like to look as buy positions. Look at this as a buy position. How good does this look? For me, this looks good as a buy position. So I personally sometimes like to view positions as buy positions. Helps me. So 4 minutes for this 5 minute. I can't really enter without the 5 minute closing below. It will break my plan. Nine minutes for the 15. What is German 40? I'm trying to find out my broker. I can't find it. Is there possible any other term? Yeah, DE40, DE30, GER40, DAX. There's a lot of names. Let's go back to gold, see what gold is doing. Continuing down slowly but surely. See, It's a good push, but just no range for us. We have like this would not even be 50% to TP. Well, now it would. Now I say that. Can you believe that? It's like it literally listened to me perfectly right there. Anyways, no top wick here that we can do very much with. If we repeat yesterday and have heavy selling pressure from here, we're okay. We're okay because we have a lot of range here to fill. So some 5-minute structure here would be needed. And then the continuation down. I have a buy order at 67 and your stop loss at 58. Well, you just got stopped out, my friend, unfortunately. My TP at 4,000. I'm going to swing trade. Well, your swing trade got stopped out, man. So you took a buy at 67. Oh, you have a buy order at 67. No, that makes no sense, man. Why would you swing trade from the highs? I literally posted a video on my channel helping you with this idea. You shouldn't swing trade from here. If this pulls back, this would be opportunity for your swing trade. Don't try enter higher. Use this pullback to be an opportunity, however far it goes. Further it goes, the better. Realistically, swing trades were happening yesterday from somewhere down here. Not swing, but intraday. If you really trust the bullish momentum in gold. 4 hour, buddy? Yeah, buddy. But your stop loss is tiny for 4 hour, buddy. I'm trying to help you here. 67, your entry is all the way up here. Your stop loss is only here. 100 pips stop loss, buddy. It's tiny stop loss. So don't buy from the highs. I'm on gold futures. Let's see on gold futures, 68. Okay, there you go. Now it makes a big difference, man. So yeah, if you could have included that information, maybe it would have helped. Maybe it would have helped if you could have included. So now your buy order is all the way down here now, 68. Now it's making sense, 67. Yeah, now that makes a lot more sense buying from here instead of up there. But obviously you can see my prices are different. So that makes sense. Because buying up here makes no sense. That makes 0 sense. For a swing trade. Oof. This would be nice if we can get the close above in 5 minutes. Triple respect of support. So only price is difference in future charts? Little bit candles. Little bit. So if you're trading futures on gold, you have to focus on gold futures. You don't look at the CFD charts. Otherwise you're going to get confused. Should we wait for 15 minutes to close or 5 minutes would be enough? Well, the next 5 minutes is the candle close. This 5-minute candle here is closing already. The only thing is, will DAX be impulsive here and just fly, right? 5 minutes is not too much time, but at the same time it is, right? If that makes sense. And it closed below the previous 15, but it's making a beautiful bottom wick. I hate these scenarios. I'm gonna wait. Unless we get a juicier bottom wick to here and we start to flip last 2 minutes. Then I kind of have to go. Like this is becoming a juicy bottom wick. Wow, look at the rejection on gold, huh? That's a massive rejection on gold. Massive. The question is, would you have got your 1-to-1? That's my question. 50 pip stop loss, 61 pip stop loss. I mean, 50 pip push, 60 pip stop loss. So 10 pips from your entry. D40. Pretty great bottom wick here, but we're looking like we're consolidating for now. So I want to wait for the 15 here with only 3 minutes. 3 minutes is not that bad. So this might be perfect actually. Hello friend, buddy, sir. Legendary trader here. My students are happier today after winning 10 pips winnings. Are we buy or sale today? Oh, today we could be a little bit more. But didn't you lose like 300 pips? So why are they happy with only 10 pips? I remember you lost like 300 pips. 10 pips is enough? Reset and forget? Exactly. You did 35 lots. Damn. That's the thing, man. You only remembered for the last thing you do. So you can take 50 losses and 1 win and then post that win everywhere. Forget about the 50 losses. You're profitable. Alright, so we have only 2.5 minutes basically for this 15 to close. I am tempted to take break of this high here. It is tempting. In case we get this just rip after such a great bottom wick. It is very tempting here, especially with the 1 minute closing above. Oh, that's what I feared, man. That's what I feared. At this point, now that we've already had that push, I have to wait. The good thing is we can take it break of high, which is actually slightly better here. Yes, it's a bigger stop loss, which doesn't help us the most. But it will give us... Oof. Can we optimize? If we close above on 5, we can optimize stop loss too here. Because if it breaks there, it's game over basically. Yeah, we have options. We have options. Let's wait 1 minute here. 1.5 minutes. And see what happens. Ideally, I want stop loss below the range would be better though. Is this a form of set of 5? Yeah, it is. So yeah, last 1 minute of this candle here. This will also be the 30-minute candle here as well. So we have a 30-minute setup too as well. So the only thing we need here on the next candle is going to be a bottom wick. And of course for it to close above, right? It's very possible that it doesn't close above. I've seen that happen before. Wick fill is also possible here with good bottom wick because we haven't tapped a 15-minute level or a 30-minute level. Let me double check. Yeah, no 30-minute level tapped. But we need to close above. So we don't close above, that's going to be interesting. Oh wow. Wow. Is that's below on broker, I think. And below here as well. Wow, last second, man. Last second. That 5 just went and said, not today, man. Not today. Anyways, it keeps us safe. It keeps us safe, but it's not a SPY. It's keeping us safe, actually. It would be shit. The SPY is when it pumps, man. If we ended up the candle all the way up here, that's shitty. But the 30-minute is valid, huh? 30-minute is still valid. That's the thing. So 15-minute, now we have the 30. We can ignore the 15. Because we have the 30. Very interesting now. Very interesting. So a 5 close above here, or at least a break of high would be enough. But then stop loss is what is the shitty part here. What is stop loss looking like? 29 points is not worth it. You have to get a full retracement. So how could we optimize stop loss in this position here to get a better risk to reward with such a good bottom wick? So we could put stop loss below this structure here because we've had such a deep bottom wick and enter break of high. Right? Because break of high, we have at least the confirmation of continuation. Because entering on a wick fill now is a problem because we're at this previous level here as well. So we could end up popping up a little bit, we go in profit and then boom, draw down. And then when we look back at the trade, we can say that the 30-minute trade never triggered. So it was valid on a 30-minute time frame, but the entry criteria never triggered because we never broke the high. You see that? So that would be the, but if we break the high, optimize stop loss below here, now we have everything in our cards. Only problem is it's not looking like it wants to optimize, but it seems like it's just dumping. And in all of that, guys, we could end up actually getting our sells again. Believe it or not, the sells could come through here and we could end up selling if this closes below here in 2 minutes, which was the second plan, right? Because we still respected 15. Only problem with the sells now, 20 pip stop loss is not that bad. 10 pip target for break even, and then you can see if we get a push. So let's see how this closes in 2 minutes. This is some interesting price action here. A lot of ping pong, I call it. Call it ping pong. Up and down. So let's see. Now, if we look at gold here, what's gold doing back inside of the range? So yeah, we're back inside of the range. Not really too much interesting here being back in the range. We want to start to leave the range would be better. We could try to wick fill here with a close below. That is possible, but it's a little bit more difficult with that 30 closing long rejection. So let's just see how gold develops. Give it some time. DAX here could close below. Let's see how 1 minute is forming. No 1 minute pullbacks is very dangerous though. Very dangerous. So either we have two options. Either it closes below and then makes a 1 minute pullback, then we enter break of low. Or since there's no 1 minute pullback, we're not going to get the close below. It will just make it now and then we will reject like this. Because we haven't had the pullback. Would you say DAX is as bad as GJ? No, it's a lot more cleaner ranges on DAX than we have than GJ recently. But DAX is definitely slower than it was Q1 and a bit of Q2 as well. Q3 has been end of second half of Q2 and Q3 bad for DAX. We've been ranging for 3 months. You know, so it's not as easy trades on DAX. To be honest, if I'm being honest, DAX has been better in NY actually during Q3. I've seen some better setups during NY than always London. Man, I don't know why I need to email IC about the spreads on DAX here. This is nuts, man, that they haven't fixed this issue here. So highly unlikely we close below here. Now it's trying to gear up for the buys yet again here. Wow, what a ping pong this is. So where we need a close, that is going to be key. It's either a 5 minute candle close above here or 5 close below there. Those are our two shots. That's how we're going to play today's range. One above or one below, that's it. Anything inside of here is just ping ponging. Grab liquidity from upside, grab liquidity to downside. By the way, I just want you to notice, if you took an early trade and didn't manage and tried to get greedy, stopped, which is really unfortunate. Unless you run full macro lows stop loss. DAX printing barcodes? For now, yes. In Munich this morning, does that impact DAX? Depends if it was a scare or actually something true. How did you figure out this is my method? Like how you built a system with your accumulated knowledge? What steps did you take to build profitable systems? You gain information from others and use what you want to use. Any concept that retail trades in the market is not new. No one has created a new concept for a very long time. No concept is new. So you're just applying basic things and putting them together in a way that makes sense. And testing it, man. You test it. You have to test it. That's key, is testing it. Test it with back testing, live price action, all of that stuff together is really going to tell you that it works. And then you refine, right? You refine on back testing. A lot of refinement is done. It's data collection, right? This is a game of probability and statistics. So you're trying to check the probability and statistics of each setup. You know, someone who's new, who hasn't watched our stream before, they'll come in here, they might see me take a trade, I lose. But they don't know how we trade. They don't know how I trade long term. They don't know what my results are. They don't know that this system has worked over 3 years live. So, you know, maybe this trade didn't work out, but they don't know that, you know, and I get it. Like for them, it might seem like, look, I want to take a trade with this guy. Oh, it failed. He sucks. But they don't understand that, oh, they're not considering what's happened before. Like when you follow a system, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months of that system is not going to tell you if it works. You need a year. A whole year will tell you if the system works. If you end the year positive, systems worked. Yeah, some years might be less than others, but that's just how trading works. So we might get a close below here. 18 pip stop. We have a 5-point break even. If it doesn't close below, then obviously no entry. This is being very nasty to people on buys. I want you to notice, guys. Imagine people got stopped out. They re-entered their trade and put stop loss below the low here. It is being nasty. So they entered a buy here. They put stop loss below the range. Got stopped. Then it stopped them out. They re-entered because they trust their position on the when it was making its stop wick. They put their stop loss below the liquidity grab. And then it stopped them out again, and now back to where the entry would have been. And now they're full crying. Man, I'm laughing because I've been through that. I'm laughing from pain, actually. I'm laughing from pain. Because I know exactly how that feels. And all in all, you look back at it and you're like, fuck, I should have just kept stop loss below this low. And if price really wants to be nasty today, guess what it's going to do? It's going to come liquidity grab here, all along, retest daily resistance, then give the buys, which we discussed, you know? Which we discussed. Then they would have, the man, that you get totally cooked on a day like that. You get totally cooked on a day like that, man. That's a bad day in the market, you know? When that happens, you just call it a day, quickly as possible. If you get fucked like that 3 times, call it a day. Pip labs and determination is all you need. Yep, that will help. Let's see who is on the leaderboard. Let's see if we are still being dominated by Joel. Or has anyone now started to rage bait our system? Let it load. Joel, man, this guy is still rage baiting our system. Antonio's still in second. William is close, man. He can push up to second place if he backtests a little bit more. This guy looks like he's actually backtesting somewhat properly. These guys are gamblers. Antonio is a gambler. So yeah. Oh yeah, people have been asking me, make sure to watch this video. This video actually shows you how to use the simulator, right? To change the planes. It's like a tutorial video. It's also like a bit of a tutorial video. So you can watch this video. Obviously, there is a more in-depth tutorial here, which is called tutorial, which is a slideshow telling you how to start, and you know, you can read through it and all of that stuff. Right? I follow you more than 1 year. Amazing. You stream every day. You are a legend. Now, I appreciate that. I'm no legend, but I'm here to do my job. I want to show my system throughout all market cycles, through my highs, through my lows, because that's real trading. It's easy if I can come here and show just my highs, right? When we are having very strong market conditions, it's easy, man. I used to have average 2 losses per month. Now my losses have doubled to 4 losses a month on London session average. And my New York, right, that's what's interesting. So I was trading less New York. Now my New York win percentage has gone up heavily. I'm at an 88% win rate for New York session. New York will be shit because of the lockdown? No, it's not affecting much, man. The lockdown is not affecting much. Last time it didn't do much. Yeah, it's been a little bit more bullish for gold maybe. But the lockdown of the government doesn't do much. So now we need to find a way to see how we can capitalize off gold, but not in this range. This range is going to cook people. Is this the real Antonio? Yeah, that was the real Antonio. 1 minute, man. 1 minute. If this flips in 1 minute, how good would that be? 5 minute close above here. Would be a 6 setup, huh? Would be pretty cool if you ask me. But it's not looking likely. Unless it moves its ass last 40 seconds or so. And we get some sort of fat boy move towards the upside. We just see this 5 minute candle say, today I shall fly. 1 minute closes here. I've collected data over a year in Pip Labs. It shows real profitability. Thanks for Pip Labs. It saves a decade worth of time. It does, man. Especially for passing prop firms. If you're someone trying to pass a prop firm challenge, please utilize the prop firm simulator. You need that. Prop firms are against you. They want you to fail. That's how they make money. So why not use a tool that gives you an edge? Gives you an edge to make sure that you do, because prop firms have the biggest return on investment. Biggest return on investment. I was talking about this the other day, right? As a challenge, I took a 50K funded account. That 50K funded account has cost me $200, right? $50 to buy it, and then 150 application fee, whatever. Not application, starting fee once you pass it. In 1 week, last week, I returned on that account $700. Where did I post that shit? I returned $700, yeah, here. $700 is my return in 1 week. So if you do the math on 200, it's almost a 5x in return on investment, right? 4x, we could say. It's a 4x. So that is insane, guys. You never get that anywhere in the world, but the only thing that is that, and between that is skill. Whoa. Mr. Dax, what's happened here? No top wick, dump here. Is this the test we need? Test to daily resistance, or are we just going to get random price action? No top wick on this. Let's see on broker. So remember, return on investment is massive, but you need to bridge the skill gap. And then you can make stupid money from prop firms that make sense. Next, I'll probably work on, after I finish with my institutional account, all of that stuff. I'm going to then get 200K FTMO as well. That's something I want. I'm thinking to start it soon, but there's a lot going on between all of these accounts now. Stream account, institutional account, personal futures funded account, and then I'll have FTMO account. So I need to manage it accordingly. TP hit on GU. Boys took GU here. What did they take in the group? Nice. That's a beautiful setup one, huh? Beautiful bottom wick retest. Sweet. That's very nice. Starting the month good? Yeah. That's a good trade, man. 4 hour closed above as well. Just so slightly. Beautiful 4 hour LTA. 1 hour started to get above here. You got 30-minute. Okay, that's a no-brainer when you get the 30-minute close as well. 5-minute structure as well. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with this trade. Man, fuck DAX, man. What is that, man? What is that? No top wick. You retrace the whole move. This is the problem with DAX recently. It's just like you have to pick a direction and go. But today the direction was not easy to pick. How do you trade the prop accounts? Isn't it not allowed to copy from main? So you need to execute every single account itself. Yeah, you see, for me to pass a proper account and copy it from, let's say, my main, it works if you do it, but sometimes I notice it's not the best depending on spreads and executions. It's always better to enter directly on prop, I've seen, but it still works to copy from accounts. The thing is, sometimes on prop phase 1, I want to be more aggressive to pass it faster. It's just, I'm, trying to see. Plus, there was some issues with the copier I was using. Do you enjoy the Project X platform on TopStep? They changed it. I don't last week I had to take some random trades. That's why you see last week result I have 9 trades total, because I was taking some really small trades to try figure out how I can get back dragging my stop loss and TP. Right? Why does these big moves happen out of nowhere? Just volume, man. But that's not our job. It's not our move, this type of move, because this is something we can't predict, that price is just going to randomly go. Unless we were a complete seller today and we just sold randomly. But there was clear signs that it was not only sells today, right? Like, that's all we needed was a close below here. And the day we get the close, we have our confirmation. My second plan for sells was closes below daily resistance. Unfortunately, we got one 1 minute candle that just filled the whole range. Right? Out of nowhere, massive 1 minute candles, 50 points, and that's it. See how gold is doing here. Gold is trying to get out the range as well. So let's see if we can get gold. How do you achieve max allocation on prop firm challenges? I'm not a prop firm trader. I'm just doing it to expand my opportunity to make more money in the markets. That's all I'm doing. TopStep denied a payout on live stream for no violation. Well, you have to see. It depends on what's happening with them. That's why I don't always. That's why I don't rely fully on prop firms, right? That's why I trade personal account. But because if they denied me a payout, it sucks. But I don't really care because I'm trading my personal as well. So if now I request my $1,000 payout from TopStep now, and they deny it, yeah, it will suck. But I'm not really gonna care. Prop firms are a scam. Not all, man. You can make some seriously good money, especially if you're asking for 1 to 2% withdrawals. They have a very low chance that they're gonna reject that. Very low chance. You have to remember, a lot of prop firms make way more money than they're asking for payouts. You know, a lot more money. Anyone have a link to my podcast we did about prop firms? That's a good one. I think you guys should watch that podcast we did. Me, Raja, and Daniel. We talk about prop firms. There's some good information in there. What's his name, Raika? If it's that Patrick guy, then that's just because they have beef. TopStep did 50 million 1 month. Yeah, we talked about it in We talked about it in the podcast that they did 50 million a month. Here's the link. Thanks, man. This is the link to the podcast if anyone was wondering. What is your trading strat? Price action. That's interesting, man. That's why I don't always like prop firms, because they have the opportunity to deny. But in saying that, that's why it's I believe FTMO is fine. Yeah, I know who he is. What pair is that? Now I'm on Raja has a prop firm. What is the passing rate of challenges? Yeah, he mentions it in that podcast. He says very few people pass. Most people who pass are taking payouts of $1,500. My dream for trading is 200k at 2 to 3% a month. It's easy. The problem is getting the 200k funded, because FTMO is hard to pass. It's mentally straining to pass 15% when you've been trading for so long, like you. See, that's why I like Top Step, because I got funded in 2 weeks without over risking. I didn't even over risk. I risked. You can see I posted it on YouTube, right? That video is on YouTube. You can see the exact trades I took. I didn't hide anything. I didn't full margin. I didn't take random positions like these guys do to pass their account. Everything was done legit. I showed the transaction history. I showed the trades as well that I took to pass the challenge. I talk about what setups it is, right? This video here. So you can see I didn't do random to pass it, but it passed easily. Why? Because profit target was low. Yeah, I risked 2%, but profit target 6, you know, it's not that hard. Whereas FTMO is a little bit harder there, because we need to reach profit target 15%, you know, and the problem is to reach 15%, you can have some bumpy roads in 15%. If you can make 15% in a year and you've never been, see, this is the problem, guys. Everyone tries to pass a funded challenge, but they've never had a profitable year, right? And that's what I talk about. Is I said the reason I never took funded challenges when I first started trading is because I knew I can't make 10% in a month, because that was the goal back then. When I started trading FTMO, all these prop firms, you needed to make 10% in a month. And I knew I couldn't make 10% in a month risking 1%. If I risked 4%, 5%, maybe, but I just need a lucky month, then what? I have to get lucky again and again and again? No, because now there's phase 2. So now I need to get lucky again in phase 2. So what did I do instead? I said I'm just going to trade personal, and then I just got used to it. Now I believe prop firms are a lot more accommodative. And now that it's not as hyped and we have so many people trying to exploit and this and that, I feel like as soon as I can free up my institutional account, then I have space to go and pass the 200k. And then I can document that as well. The only thing is when you trade so long, it feels like such a task, you know? And two sides of me, one side of me just wants to pass it risking 1%, and the other side of me wants to go and push the 4% risk and get through phase 1 and then pass phase 2 easily. I can probably pass phase 2 in like a month. Decent month of price action, I can pass phase 2 easily. Phase 1 probably takes me from 2 months, maximum 3. Depends on market condition. 4% risk is just 4 trades. That's the thing. 4 in a row, man. It's quite hard to get 4 in a row. You need a good month, right? I mean, I've had, like, if we look at my actual statistics here, like, yeah, if you look at these months here, like, let's look beginning of 2025. These are my actual statistics. If we take quarter number 1, in quarter number 1, I only lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I only had 5 losses in the whole quarter. Oh, including this one here. 6 times in the whole quarter out of this many trades, which is like 30 trades. So that means I have like 20 wins and 5 losses. So if I took the account challenge here, easily pass. But imagine I put all my focus on the account challenge, I wouldn't be paid. I wouldn't be paid. But here I got paid. I made the most money I've ever made trading in this period here. Quarter 1 of 2025. Actually, and a bit of quarter 2 here. Quarter 2 is actually better, actually. This, I was getting some of my biggest trade. 100-point trades here on gold. 100-point trades. Yeah, some sick positions here, man. And then quarter 3 was actually one of my slowest quarters. Right? So I had my best trading I've ever had in my career. Best. Made the most money I've made. And then quarter 3, London session, I didn't give it back. And that's the main difference. I didn't give it back. I didn't manage to have the same results. Right? But it wasn't as strong as quarter 1, which is how it works, man. It was slow, you know. I would win a trade, give it back, win a trade, give it back, make 1% a month. I had a 1% month. I had a negative month there as well. Was that a 100 pip win you saw? Yeah, it was. To be honest, I want to trade prop, but it seems confusing, all the rules. If you read the rules, they're easy. You just need to read through them, that's all. No pullbacks here on DAX, man. We need some pullbacks. There are only 1 to 2 prop firms that are genuine. If you remember, I had 150k sitting in funded engineer, 400k sweating bricks, worrying about them paying after a monster trading effort. Yeah, I don't recognize your YouTube name, but I do think I know who you are. I'm not going to say your name on YouTube in case you don't want that, but I do remember. Here's the one. I remember you bought a Tesla, right? You were trading with us. Okay, here's how I know who you are. You were in the exclusive group, you got funded, and then you bought a Tesla as a gift, right? I remember you were in the group and bought a Tesla with your trading profits. Yes? Okay, it is Simon then. Good to see you still around, bro. This is a bit of a wacky price action here, huh? Do you think he'll continue going down further? What will? Looks like you're doing really well in NY, getting even better. NY in quarter 3 has been better than London for sure. By far. Right? NY has been a different story. At one point I contemplated only streaming NY. If I streamed only NY quarter 3, you guys think I'm a hero. Right? You guys think I'm a hero. It's easy. I mean, you know, that's why I took a funded challenge, because I'm like, no, price action is great now. I know I'll be able to pass it cleanly. That's me being transparent. You know, I said this is good price action time. This will be easy to pass challenge, profit off it, and milk it. And I'm taking the challenge so slow, man. I actually thought to myself I should just be risking heavier, but I'm scared they deny me payout. So I'm just risking 250, 200 bucks on the challenge. Just really trying to do it legitly. Even though I'm very tempted to just go 1,000 risk, 2%. But actually, when I tried that in one trade, they didn't allow me. It said you have like it's oversize. So you can only risk 1%. What is DAX? It's German index. As you say, people doesn't even close year in profit. That's why I want to close this year in green. I'll be more than happy if I close 8 to 10% green. Exactly. At least you've been paid from the market. Most people end their year losing from the market, which is fine. But you have to make that change. Don't try end your year at like 100% profit when you haven't even made 10% profit. What do you mean by quarter 3? There's something called quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. If you research on Google quarters, you'll understand. It's like every 3 months. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Lately, I've had a terrible habit of actually gambling on US 30 open candle. Results have been expected terrible. Yeah, you have to stop that, man. And if that's the case, then you have to discipline yourself to not even show up during the open if you're going to just gamble. What is the best quarter to trade? Depends. Last year, quarter 1 was shit. Quarter 3 and 4 were amazing. Quarter 2 and 3 were good. Quarter 4 was pretty boring, to be honest. Are you going to stream NY, bro? Yeah, I stream NY in the exclusive group. So today we're going to actually, yeah, today we are going to be streaming NY in exclusives for some US 30 madness. Let's have a look at how US 30 is doing for our session today. Could get some heavy pullbacks, some bounces. See if we can run it up today. Daily looks a bit miserable, but if we continue down today during NY, we could have some room. Or if we reach down here, we could have some nice buys back up. So let's see what happens. We'll be trading gold as well, because gold might set up beautifully for NY like it did yesterday. So I'm looking forward to gold as well. First day of the month, I don't know what to expect, if I'm being honest. Yesterday was amazing price action. Today we could just range for London, which has been the case, and then New York is beautiful again. So let's see what happens. DAX has amazing volume here, but I don't know what the fuck it's doing on just these candles like this, man. I mean, it is a close your eyes and press sell scenario, but Jesus Christ, not giving me any chance. I was even looking at 1 minute time frame. I'm not even seeing 1 minute setups here, except for this one here. But stop loss at the time would be not worth it. You're running 23 stop loss on a 1 minute. It's not really the strat. Right at support here as well on 1 minute. So yeah. So let's see what happens. Now we're starting to get a rejection here. Where are we on higher time frame? Getting pretty close to 4-hour support. NY streams cover YM, NQ, GC, and ES. No, I trade myself. Yeah, I do cover those. Those are pairs that people in the group are trading. You have to realize just because I trade those pairs doesn't mean that other people aren't trading different pairs. These are the trades that all the guys are taking in the group. Today, the guys took GU, for example. We have people, mostly they trade, you know, my pairs. But here, someone traded UJ as well. UJ set up number 1 win. Here, we have a trade on Bitcoin as well. Set up 1 Bitcoin trade. We have trades on, what is this on? This is on US 30, YM. So different pairs. We have people who trade NASDAQ. All of that stuff. Give me a sec. I'll just go toilet, come back. I hear to join NY in the group. Yeah, to join NY in the group, you just have to join the group. That's it. What happened to music? Why did it stop? Oh, there we go. Gold is consolidating now. I don't want to be caught out in this mess. The Discord? No, you just go to the website. It's the first of the month, so the group is open. You guys don't have to be on waitlist. So if you do want to join, this is the best time. I didn't increase price for this month. Maybe I do it next month. I'm still deciding. We'll see. You just go to the website here. Go to the website. I'm in the Discord. Yeah, this one here. It's this group here. All the information is on there. So the Discord is just a free Discord. Waiting for price increase? What, you want to buy after the price increase? That's an interesting perspective. NFP going to be delayed because of government shutdown? Government shutdown is not the Fed, right? I mean, it could be, but you know, the Fed can still make their decision. No decrease? No, price is not going to decrease, man. Price is going to increase. This is the decrease. It's the cheapest group you're going to find online. How much you think of increasing it? I mean, everyone in the group won't be affected, so it doesn't matter for you guys. But I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I actually said I was going to do it like 6 months ago, but you know me, I'm always liking to help and stuff like that. And also, I just didn't want... 3 months ago, I was going to do it. But I'll tell you the real reason. And this is me being honest and transparent to all you guys. I didn't want to increase it 3 months ago because I felt like people... That 3 months ago is when I had... London session was slow for me. So if I increased it, then people are going to tell me, oh, you increased it because your trading is bad, blah, blah, blah. And it looks really bad. And that's honestly why. And I really wanted to do that to prove that I'm not doing this just for the money. That's why I actually didn't increase it, honestly. Because you know me, if I wanted to do this for the money from the very beginning, I'd be charging absorbance amounts and making it advertised as signals. But honestly, that's the real reason. Because I still wanted to help people out, you know. Why do you trade DAX? Because it's a very profitable pair for me and I love the way it moves when it moves good. I respect your honesty. Yeah, 100% people would accuse me of it, right? It makes sense. So that just proves look, if I don't increase the price, I'm still fine. You guys get a better opportunity. You know? First time hearing it from you? No, I trade it a lot of the time, man. If you go look at my journal here, see, this is my public journal. When did I start taking it? Let's see where my first DAX trade is. My first DAX trade was right here, 2024. So almost a year now of DAX. No one can credibly doubt you're legit, Harry, that's for sure. Well, yeah, that's the point is I just didn't want to create that beef. If I can avoid problems, I will. And for me, money is not a main motivator. You know? Money is not a main motivator. It is just an outcome of my effort I put in. Now, sometimes I'll be honest, and this is me again being transparent. I do feel like sometimes I give more than I get, but the only time it makes me upset, and I'll be honest, this is when it actually does upset me, is when I give more than I get, I don't care. But what hurts me is that when I give more than I get, and those people just end up they do well and then they just leave, you know? They don't stay around, they don't want to help others. They're like, thanks man, I've done great. And I need to share more of this, but I have tons of DMs of proof. people sending me, the craziest I've had is someone make 50K with me in 2 months, actual 50K, and he showed the withdrawal to my to his account, which is insane. People who have obviously bought cars, people who've done this, people who have really seen success. But I like it, you know. I like when you give more than you get, but then the people stay around and they want to help, you know. That's nice, that's community. But I realize a lot of people do this for them, and I respect that. You know, they have to focus on them, you know. I meant other YouTube talkers about it. Yeah, it's not that popular on YouTube. It's really mainly a London session pair. But actually, sometimes it moves beautifully in NY, believe it or not. Also, the other reason is that you get taken for granted. That's one of the biggest mistakes, I think, charging such a cheap price in the industry, is because you get taken for granted. That's actually my biggest takeaway from this, is that you seem like you're giving away too much. Like, only the people who really know your value, they realize they're getting a deal. But other people just be like, look, there's no value there for that price. Whereas if you charge $1,000, I was speaking about it, you charge $1,000, anyone who joins that is going to make sure they grind on the content, ask you questions, send charts, get better. They need to make use of their time. They paid for that. And if they don't, they feel like they're wasting money. But when you have $50 for the whole month, it kind of is like, you know, whatever. If I'm tired, lazy this month, who cares? They don't have that locked in mentality, which we want, right? We want people to be locked in. All right, waking up on gold. Waking up on gold. I found you off a Reddit comment. Definitely learned a lot from you already. You make some great content. Thanks, man. I appreciate that support. Glad you actually enjoy it. My perception, you really do give a lot. I know, because I'm the same. You always get exploiters, but much respect. Yeah, but I guess we have to both think to ourselves, we sign ourselves up to that, right? Tips for being profitable but struggling with consistency. I need to see your trades. It's always something in the trades, either doing too much, setting wrong targets. If I see your trades, that's why in the group now I'm making people send me their journal and I'm going through. I've been sent journals from some of the guys who've been here for quite, from quite a while, and I found immediate mistakes. Immediate. Fixed it, now they're doing better. Right? So that's the best way, but just some typical things to try help you in general without me seeing your journal. Yeah, consistent profitability, man. I need to see that. That's what I'm talking about. These guys are profitable, but they then some months they lose or they give it back. I'll be able to see in the journal what's going wrong, like that. Immediately give them direct feedback and find out. Right? Immediately feedback, find out, boom, get them profitable, get them focused, get them back on track. You know, that's kind of like saying, okay, imagine you're a professional football player. Look, man, on the field, there's just some times where I just always mess up in this certain scenario. And you explain someone, they're like, let me see you play. You know, let me see you play. You need to see the person play, then you can really make the things. But common mistakes for consistent profitability is over trading. That's number one. Number two is going to be mismanagement, too many break-evens. Number three is lack of confidence. Number four is specific features such as targetability, stop loss placement, outcomes on days. That's a big one. How you end your day, right? GJ seems to be waking up, don't you think? Yeah, but we need at least a month of good price action, you know? Like today did give actually a valid setup that actually worked out, but this is the first time. So once I see this come back better and better, then I'll look to reintroduce it again. Like that is a nice setup here. Close below, continuation down. That's a classic setup I would have taken on GJ in the past. And it would have won. Today it did win as well. But 1 to 2 days of good price action, followed by 20 days of bad price action, isn't going to work. Right? That isn't going to work. Because I will win today and then lose all the other days. So I really need to see how it ends up forming. Respect to you, brother. You grind every day, learning every day. I want to join your group. I've been watching your videos long time. Yeah, you can join, man. We're beginning of the month. It's open. So you can join the group, no problems. I'll see you there. Would you say Pip Labs will give me a better edge with my perform challenges? Yes. Don't even learn from me. If you're planning to take a prop firm challenge, you need to be able to prove to yourself you can pass it. It's like a mock exam. How many people has a mock exam helped you? For me, mock exams helped me a lot. Get me ready for a real exam. I found them more useful than studying because mock exams pointed out where the fuck I need to study. Right? Because if you take a demo, not a demo, but if you take a funded challenge on Pip Labs and you practice, okay, you'll see shit. I was doing really well and then I hit a bad streak. Maybe I need to reduce my risk if I'm starting to lose 2 trades in a row. Gain back the momentum, then increase. You find these little trends that are going to help you pass. You can even test. Right? You can even test, hey, let me try passing with 3% risk. Let me try pass with 2% risk. 5 to 7 trades this month, this journal this month. Yeah, but I need to see the trades, right? Let me see the trades. What's happening? What are you doing? How you enter? So many things. A month? Yeah, a month would be good, JP. Bro, you are the first one I found with realistic approach. I was in exclusive group for 1 month. It's been great experience and learning. You are the first one to tell me 3 to 4% a month is great return. Yeah, definitely. I am down 12% this year and on average 2 to 3 profit or loss per month. Any advice? The good thing is you're actually managing risk properly. Obviously, we need to see what's going on wrong. So why are you losing? Is it because of your strategy? Is it because of your application of the strategy? Again, I would need to see. You need to expose yourself to environment. Like the stuff, I hate to say it, guys. I really hate to say it, and it just sounds like I'm promoting. But when you have issues like this and you cannot figure it out yourself, you need to reach out to people who can help you. Right? You just need to be part of somewhere that will get you to that next stage, you know? If you don't have any issues, then it doesn't matter, right? But when you have an issue, you need to be able to solve it by looking at what's going on. So it's really hard for me to tell you that, hey, you're down 12%, but what's wrong? I need context. I would lie to you if I told you something. Right? I would lie to you if I told you, and you're even a specific case because you're not that bad. Like if you told me I'm down heavy this month, this year, I'll tell you you're over risking, you're over trading. But being down 12% this year, only losing 2 to 3% a month is great. From that, maybe you're too risk adverse, meaning you're too scared to take positions. And you just FOMO, you hesitate out of the good positions and FOMO into the bad positions. So it's like you're scared to take a good position and then you're like, oh, the good position played out. Now let me hop into the bad positions. Right? I used to do that. Right? That used to be my biggest problem, hesitation. How did I fix it? Repetition and getting confidence in my strategy. I'm marking 2 years in March. This is the last breakout before changing things. I reach it and I drop, reach it, drop tips. I told you, man. Same reply I'm gonna have. You keep asking me the same question in 3 different ways. Right? Did you get confidence by backtesting? Yeah, that's repetition, right? That immediately stopped my hesitation. My losses are way bigger than my wins, so I close early. Exactly. Perfect. Well done. You've now identified one of the reasons that is your targetability, right? Same thing I said to that guy who keeps asking for tips. That could be an issue he has, is his targeting, right? So that might be putting him down and why he gives it back. He might be too textbook, right? He doesn't have any personal analysis. We need to see there's so many factors. You know? I was backtesting once a week as a beginner grind session, you know? 2-3 hour once a week only. You don't need to backtest every day. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You know? You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You know, I'm biting almost every day. What do you mean biting almost every day? What does that mean? I used to do it 7-8 hours a day. Yeah, that could be too much. Why are you skipping me? Because you asked me if NFP is today and it's not today, man. I'm backtesting every day. Yeah, you don't need to backtest every day. It's too much, you know, because when you backtest, guys, and you simulate, you need to actually think about what the fuck you're doing. You know, you need to think, what are my trades am I taking? Why am I taking it? Not just pop, 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 pop. It's just going to be, you're not, because in real life trading, you're really thinking about it. So in backtesting, you need to really think about it. Otherwise, you're just going to do useless repetition. It needs to be thoughtful repetition. So if you're backtesting every day, maybe do 2 trades a day. That's, you either do one long grind session or you do like 1 or 2 backtested, or 1 or 2 days backtesting a day. That's a cool one. I like that one as well. So if you're going to backtest every day, just do maybe 3 days of price action. Take you 20 minutes. I do an hour after stream 5 days. I mean, in the beginning, it can be good, yes. But, you know, you won't need to do that for a year. Is gold going up? I mean, it looks like we need to close above this 70 level here. Nothing closing above the 70 will get no continuation. If gold closes above 70, yeah, we're going to speak about that. Trading is so boring, not going to lie, especially waiting for that A plus setup for days. That's already a mistake I found from you, right? That's probably why you end up giving it back. Because you are trading A plus setups, you see? That's what I mean. I need to see your trades. I need to speak to you. But people are not willing to invest in their progress. It's just the truth. More so on US 30, I'm studying it. Yeah, I like US 30. Believe it or not, you will not make money consistently month to month only taking A to A plus setups. Do you believe that? It's the truth. If you risk 10 grand, will you narrow down to A plus setup trades only? Nope. A plus trade setups don't happen enough for you to have a trade every single, enough trades in a month for it to make sense. You know? Because what is an A plus trade? Something with super high probability. But in our trading style, when I'm targeting 1-to-1, it's not worth to wait for that. So the only time I would wait for an A plus trade is if I'm targeting bigger risk to reward. Otherwise, I need to be taking more trades. Pip Labs is genius, especially the new version of the AI feedback game is game changing, tells you what to focus on and improve. Yeah, man, that's what's great. People don't realize, man, we really leveled it up with Pip Labs. If you want to make actually a smart investment, get AI feedback and stuff, then, you know, this is the place to be. Like, you don't know what development we put in this new version. Insane, guys. It's absolutely insane. There's also a free demo version just to try it out. But yeah, the AI insights, they're good, right? They're not bullshit AI insights. We actually trained it. We trained it a bit. AI feedback? Yeah, guys. You guys need to read the features page, man. We have Prop Firm Simulator, AI Insights. Stay on top of your trading performance with your journal, store your data, stay on top of goals, track important KPIs and more. It gives you performance tips, gives you optimal entry and exit suggestions, error patterns, all of this, man. Emotional bias detection, insane. Insane. If you would like me to show you that, I can show you that. If you would like to see that, guys, just let me know. I can show you an example of that. Yeah, I'll show you an example of the AI insights. Let me get it set up here. So here's an example of the AI insights. When you go to your dashboard here, it will load the dashboard. Then you go to statistics. And in statistics, it's gonna now make your AI insights. So it will say, let's see, it's analyzing now my whole data. Let me make sure I'm on good one, yeah. So you give it a sec here, it's gonna analyze all of my information. There we go. It analyzed all of my information, my overall metrics, how I take my trades. It watches, it reads every single trade. Every single trade I took, it will check it out. And it gives you all improvement, right? To improve next metrics. Target drawdown, reduce drawdown to approximately 35%, current 39. So it's giving you realistic things, right? Given the high drawdown, consider using Prop Firm Simulator to establish a daily loss limit. Look at that feedback. That's insane feedback. This will help manage risk effectively. You can see it's not generic. It literally uses the features that we offer to offer feedback. So it tells you why. Current drawdown of 39 is concerning, right? 39% drawdown is concerning. A cap is necessary. Steps. Set a maximum daily loss limit of 2%. Implement a drawdown cap of 35. Monitor performance closely for the next 20 trades. Target, achieve a drawdown of 35 within. And then once you achieve that next thing and you're only losing 2% a day, it will tell you to do that. Right? So it's telling you, collect more data, refine these insights further. Your performance is promising because the upside was insane here, right? Has a 73% win rate, but profit factor is 6.42, right? And the growth of the account was 77,000, right? So all it's telling you is to refine your drawdown. Risk management is your problem, right? So it says tighten risk management. So that's the important thing. Anyways, we have here in around 5 seconds gold to potentially close above here. We have 5-minute structure. Stop loss here on this candle here would be about 50 points here. See if we can get a deep bottom wick here. At least something to retest. We need something to retest. We're not getting really the best bottom wick just yet. And see if we can enter break of high here. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot break of high here. Just pushed a little bit here as I was putting my risk in. So I'll wait for it to come back. Then grab my entry. So that's my plan. I wanted a little bit deeper bottom wick if I'm being honest. So we took the entry there. Stop loss below previous 15-minute candle. So 15-minute breakout. My break even is going to be the wick fill actually. So 0.85, maybe I can break in a little bit earlier. Let's see where that 5-minute resistance is. So I want to mark that 5-minute resistance because that could be a major problem for us. But I can go break even by there if we start to struggle. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. We need to see volume for this breakout. If there's no volume, no entry. Well, it's not going to be worth it. So we might want to retest 70 here. See if we can at least tap that 5 minute. Right, that's the push we're looking for, tapping that 5 minute now, so we need to be careful now if it wants to come back. We'll move stop loss to below the structure here. $75 is gonna be an issue here, so tempted if we react at 75, if we can get there, that is technically a take profit. Especially with lack of 1 minute structure. Five minute has to close above resistance for continuation, right? No 5 minute close above resistance, no good. Yeah, close above on broker. It did close above here as well. It's coming straight dump down below. After this reaction, you see how we're reacting? We're bouncing up bullish. We shouldn't need to come below entry here, actually. So I put stops at break even. We shouldn't need to come below entry. All right, stop me out, break even there, unfortunately. So about 20 pips here profit. 20 pips here profit for me. But I'm not going to trust it. Last time we did that, it dumped down, right? Remember, my management stop was down here. So I got out break even because last time it did this, we just saw it fake out and come towards the downside, right? So I wanted to remove myself at break even. Not a 1-to-1 for me, so I didn't close. I would have got 0.5% if I closed, but I was honestly thinking about a 0.5% close at maybe 75 here. That's where I was thinking to at least take some profits at 75, because that's a logical target, also around the wick fill. Anything earlier, yeah, I could have taken something, but there was no real reason for that just yet. But I think the management here was good to close it right there at break even. So yeah, it's just unfortunate again, no volume, but I think this time we were more sharper and managed it a little bit better. So we're not holding this drawdown, you know, begging for it to keep on going bullish. Instead, I can look for re-entries on price, you know. So I'm just playing it a little bit more aggressive because it's punished us. Remember the last few days on all-time high breakouts, we've been punished for trying to hold and give it a chance. You know, so instead of giving it a chance here, I gave it a chance in profit. We saw 27 pips. So that's a win for most people who are guru traders online. They're going to call that a win. Yeah, hit my TP, 10 pips in profit, let's go. But for me, that was not a zone that I wanted to take profit just yet, right? So just a break-even trade, and it feels like this was the right decision. Would the 5-minute be a good place to manage half? Then what's the point of taking a trade if you're going to only make 0.4% profit? You know, doesn't make any sense. And we closed above the 5. The point is, if we reacted off the 5, I would have gone break-even. But we didn't. So in my opinion, I think this was great management. And look at that, right? Imagine we held because I'm like, oh, we need to hold, give it a chance. Now look, we're crying, right? Full dump 1 minute time frame. No pullbacks even. Super painful when that happens. You know, our 1-to-1 was not that crazy. 40 pips on a breakout is not that crazy. At least closing half at 75 would have been fine as well. So in my opinion, this was good management. I'm happy with the way I managed the trade. I wouldn't change anything here. You know, I wouldn't change anything. It sucks that we don't get the volume because it would have been an easy trade to profit off. But hey, we can't really control that. But what I can control is my own position. So yeah, now we could just look for re-entries if they were to come. But 15-minute is looking scary if it closes back in the range. Let me bring up my bigger chart here. So if this 15-minute closes back in the range, it's looking a bit like a fake out. Right? Looks like a bit of a fake out. But the fact that we're closing back below 70 is a really bad sign. Would you trust the 5 if it closes above the high? I mean, honestly, I'd look for a liquidity grab down and then a 5-minute close above 70 and try buy back towards the high. Instead of buying at the high, I'd buy back towards the high. You just explained it, but could you retell what made you go break even here, so I know what situations it's appropriate to go break even? So basically, in this scenario, I'll tell it after stream, anyways, for the guys in the exclusive. Keep that there. But you're going to be trading by yourself, so you need to find a way to make a decision like that, not ask me, because you won't be able to ask me when you're trading by yourself. So what are you going to do in the future to make sure to protect yourself in that? Right? That's why it's beneficial to have for feedback, right? Not for copying, for feedback. Because it's a legit question. But if you end up in a scenario like that, then, you know. I'm asking because I tend to be quickly. Yeah, so you need to have your set rules, right? or ask people like me for feedback and make sure you apply. So for me, that's it. I'm basically done until I see another setup. A 15-minute candle closing bullish again would be a shot, but I'm playing it safe because last time it did this, price came up here, retested, failed, right? So we saw this fail before in the past. This could fail again. Yeah, technically I wouldn't be stopped out in this position just yet, but at the same time, last time it ended up dumping, so I have to play it safe. So I'm happy with the decision. Let's see the aftermath here and be a hindsight trader, and then we can discuss after hindsight is finished. There will be more entries in about 12 minutes. If we close back above again, would be nice for an entry. If not, then it's bad, because remember, no bottom wick and we close below 70. This could just be one more liquidity grab, trap the buyers again, then it goes for sells. So yeah, anyways, appreciate it. Take care. Hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Much love and speak to you guys soon. Peace.